YouTube, Archie Horror Stories, Poems, and Lyrics. This is video 2 of the Connecticut tragedy. I'm here tonight to recite a poem that I wrote and go over some things that one thing that I predicted. I mean, you can go on my channel. I mean, it's going to probably be, everything will probably be done and said and over with this by the time I get 1 million views or something. But on the 14th, the day of the tragedy, I already had some stuff that I went over to bring up forth towards you guys, due to the fact I'm doing like I say, documentary on a kid that was murdered by his stepfather, missing for 31 years. And I wanted to go over some other child killers in the video, which I did. And going over that, and now fully understanding this story, because Extra on TV tonight said that the kid's mother was going to send him away due to his problems, issues. And to me, that is disgusting, very unparent-like, and I think she now is full to blame for his problems. First you have the story of he was autistic, and that he had the social problems of autistic, not being able to communicate with people, talk to people, and get along and socialize. She put him in public school, the story said, and took him out of public school and homeschool. Then you got the part where she put him pretty much in the basement of the house with no windows, pretty much a dungeon. And she taught him how to fire guns. Another big issue. You know, guns, yes, in my eyes, are for protection or the fun of game, of hunting. Other than that, if you're using a gun to kill innocent, you're a straight up retard, which I already put in a definition of my own for the meaning of retard. Is not a handicapped person, but someone that knows right from wrong, but does wrong anyways. That's my new definition of retard. And this woman was straight up. She supposedly gave love to her child, was always around the child. And to me, in a way, it's a good thing. But did not give him his space, did not give him his social techniques that he needed. She pretty much made him antisocial. You don't just stuff a kid in the basement, games, and television, and expect them to, and have no friends to enjoy playing games with, or watch some movies, and just keep them schooled, homeschooled. Sometimes it's good to do that. Other times, with this case, it isn't. But that still does not give no one the right to go out and pull off a gun and kill innocent kids. Now, in my experience as a child and growing up around stuff like this, and I've known people, I've been in a violent family relationship due to my parents wanting to, separate and bring themselves into other people's lives and start a new relationship. I do have one problem with all this blaming video games, blaming guns. You don't blame the video games, and you certainly don't blame the guns. Because people need control, not the guns. The guns is a dead thing. It does not have a mind unless you use it. Games, the same things. Unless you're controlling it, it's dead. Don't exist. And I'm living proof, believe it or not, which I don't care if you don't. I've already gotten one thumbs down on my other video of this, but I am living proof, and I've had games since the age of 6. Video games. I started off with an Atari 2600 system. Some people don't know what that is. Came out in like 78, 79. Had all kinds of gun shooting games, spaceship shooting games, Pac-Man where you eat ghosts. I mean, did it make me a killer? Later on I got my Nintendo. Later on I got my Super Nintendo. Later on I got my PlayStation 2. All these games. I played games. And that's the same thing as saying music kills. People get a subliminal message in their brain. Horse shit. I'm sick of people pointing at games, music, guns for people's emotional problems in their lives. I've had so much violence in my life, beatings in my life, full fist fights with adults as a child in my life. I've even had people and cops pull guns out at me, and I didn't retaliate. I've been bullied, picked on as a child. I mean, in ways I did stupid things and fought back, but other ways I made a name for myself, and people don't bother me no more. But I didn't retaliate by killing them. And I've played Vice City. My favorite game is Vice City to this day. Grand Theft Auto, all of them. I haven't got to the new ones yet, but I've beaten, Part 3, Part San Andreas, and Vice City. I beat them all. And yeah, I didn't go out and want to kill cops, run over people, do stupid things, shoot, go out and buy a gun. Who does that? It's not the people. It is the mentalness of the people that seduce them in whatever way they're in. And if you leave a child in a room by himself all day, it doesn't matter if he's playing games or watching TV, you stick him in a room, or you're homeschooling him, or you just leave him there and don't give him no attention, what do you expect you're gonna get? Me, I'm fortunate. I was left in my room as a child from the age of 5. If I wanted to get up from a nightmare, run in my mother's bed that's, have comfort, I'd get kicked out and sent back to my room, which was pitch black. Nobody there. I had to get out of my fear myself. And as for violence, like I said, I had kids picking on me. I beat them up. Made a name for myself. I didn't kill them. And so forth. I'm a 17-year alcoholic. I did violent things. I'm glad I didn't kill nobody during my drunkenness days. But, yeah. But I'm still here. Now I have 4 kids. I've grown up. I mean, if I had the chance, which I don't have time these days, I'd play games with my kids, and they got games right now. They don't want to go out and kill nobody because of a game. And what it is because I'm constantly on them. Every day I teach them right from wrong. I teach them, if you do this, you go to jail. I've been teaching them since the age of 4. If you want to do bad things, you go to jail. You want to shoot somebody, you go to jail. You want to kill someone, beat someone, you want to do anything of violence, you go to jail. You get in trouble. I don't care. I put reality in my kids, and they stay focused. Not leave them by themselves, to fend for themselves. I had to, but I had the street smarts. For some apparent reason, I don't know what it is, but I grew up learning my own ways, but sometimes kids can't do it on their own, especially of today. Kids need support of today. This is not back then where you could be left to roam the street all day, all night. That's what I used to do. times have changed. Everything changes. I'm old-fashioned. I live in old-fashioned ways. And I know for a fact that you need to teach. And I don't need no parenting class. I don't need no counselors telling me this. It's common sense, and if you don't have it, your kid ain't gonna have it. It's gonna end up to a tragedy. I mean, I can go on all night about talking about this and gun control. You know, what's gun control gonna do? You can still buy guns off the street. What is it called? The black market. Anybody, all these illegal people on the street get you a gun. You go find it right today. I can go find one right now if I wanted to, but I won't. No, you will not, because I know what will happen. I don't need gun charges on my life. But I mean, all in all, I'm sick of them blaming things that are made by man, but man is the one that's got to use it to make it work. And that's that. And if you're and I've already predicted that this story of this kid, Adam, would come out. It was going to come out something twisted, I said, or crazy. You'll see. And I said that on the 14th before anything came out. And that's that. It's a sick, sadistic story that's come out. And there was a man just the other day, 2 days ago, yelling at someone on The View, saying you can't blame this woman because she's dead and can't defend herself. Well, guess what? You can blame her now because she was going to send her son away. He got paranoid and killed him. And why he went to a school is just beyond what was said in that household. It's just crazy. It's insane. She was going to send him away. If that's what it was on Extra, that's the truth, then there's your motive. And what can you do? And I've already predicted on the 14th, all these killings before. And then it's only, once again, common sense. You had 9/11, they beefed up the airport security. Now you got a shooting before this one of another school, I forget, sorry. But yeah, you got to beef up the security. I already said it on the 14th. This should have been done a long time ago. Like I said in my other video, there's old movies. And actually, if you look it up on YouTube, it's Class of 1999. Came out in like 1987. And even in this movie, they had metal detectors of kids going into high school. It was a high school movie, and they had metal detectors. I went to the Brockton Fair literally 3 or 4 years ago. And at the Brockton Fair, you have to go through a metal detector and get checked. And they pat you down. Now if they're going to do this at a fair, why ain't they doing it in the schools? To me, security can't get beefed up. Why? Because the politics and the government are giving free schooling to illegal immigrants, and the security and the education that our kids should be getting ain't there. The profit ain't there, the money ain't there. What do you do? How do you do this? And I think that these illegal immigrants should go start legally getting a job and legally paying for their own school, so our schools can get the proper security. I had a thing on here too about robots and why I think they're not good for the mankind population, because someone can get them in the wrong hands and do this. Here's another thing I can predict about robots. In a way they're good, in a way they're not. Because if someone gets them in the wrong hands, they can have that going to a school and shoot it up. And there's no consequences because they don't know who sent it in there. And if it's, got serial numbers, or they trace it back and it comes out the black market, there's another catastrophe. So robots should be smartly built and smartly used. And if it's one thing I will say about robots is, yeah, maybe they should be the security in the schools. Because if a gunman comes in, full force, shooting the doors down, shooting the glass, at least the robot, if it goes to apprehend them, it will get the gun, it will get shot up, but it won't get killed. It's like the Terminator. Shoot it till you can't shoot it until you run out of bullets, and it still comes after you. That's the way the robot should be, but it should also be, very intelligently built so it doesn't turn or can be turned. And there's a system saver there. 2, 3 robots in the school protecting. Until then, yes, the security guard should be put in there, period. Shouldn't be no debating. No more debating. It should have been done a long time ago at the last school shooting. They even came out with a 1962 shooting in a school. Even back then, security should have been placed in the schools. It's just a big ordeal, but no, they're going to blame video games, they're going to blame the guns, and they're going to blame everything else made by man that is controlled by man, and just leave it at that. That's ludicrous, crazy, ridiculous, and somebody should step up and do the right thing. And my last thing and thoughts and theories on this to wrap it up, after all this shooting and killing and chaos, what do you have? You have people literally taking credit for it. Another man wants to shoot up another school that his wife worked at from Indianapolis or something. I read it off someone else's YouTube page. And he said he's going to kill his wife and as many people as he can, and he comes back after that in the interview and everything, it says, oh, he was just making false accusations. This shouldn't even be tolerated. The movie theater, they got shut up from Batman. Then another guy, oh, that's my hero. There's still these sick, demented people out there. Either going to take credit, just like murders that happened, back in the 30s, 20s, 50s, whatever. Back in the day, people, even like JFK, they say Lee Harvey Oswald killed him. Then another guy takes the credit, and there was another shooter, and there was another person. Where does it end? Where does it get looked at now in the future to stop this? And you can't do it every day. I've been watching the news. There's been a new robbery, a new theft, a new gas station. Everybody's going to stores. Everybody's coming out, gonna do this, gonna take credit for that. What the hell? It's crazy. And that's why I wrote this poem. Just like my dime bag poem that's on here, very graphic. I mean, for me to write this, it's something, it's not about the kids. It would be pretty much for the kids. I don't want to say I want to dedicate it to them, but this poem relates more to people like these other fools that think they're going to take credit, or other people that's going to, I'm going to kill you and more students. I'm going to go to another elementary school and shoot it up. This is more or less meant to them. These crazy people that think they're crazy. You know what? I can't say that I would go out and do something on this, but if there was a way I could have it my way, I mean, I probably would. If there was a way I could get away with it, I would. Just to take these wannabe, and I call them wannabe evil souls, think they're so scary. I want to put fear into their eyes. And that's why I came up with this poem. And I mean, this is how I feel. about this shooting. Obama said, when's it gonna stop? It needs to stop. Right, when's it gonna stop? When it needs to stop. And killers of children have been dated back since the early 1800s, sure, earlier than as the dawn of time. I've been looking it up on YouTube. I've been doing research on kid killers and people that prey on kids like this one and all kinds of stories. And I tell you, I've been having dreams of just being a hero and taking them out, you know, whatever. I'm not saying I will, but I would say if there was a way I could do it and get away with it and be a superhero, I would. I would. Because these people need to stop. Innocent children. I got 4 kids of my own. And to see and to have this happen in their schools, I don't know what I'd do. I know I'd lose it. And all I can say, once again, for the people of Connecticut, stay strong. I know there's no way you can, there's no way anybody's gonna hug you, love you, do all kinds of crazy stuff to make you feel better. They just won't. You just need to stay strong, that's about it. Try to move on. And that's all I can say, stay strong. No words can explain this. Christmas is 5 days away, and reality sets in then. Forget it. Ain't no hug. No one's other sympathy that's gonna help you. It's just not there. But anyways, excuse me. And this poem, like I said, would be a shout out to all these twisted assholes that want to continue with their act of violence and trying to scare people or whatever they're trying to do. I hope I set fear in your head of if someone was to come and do this to you. And it's called, my poem, A New Evil. You know, I don't believe in the devil. I don't believe in God. But if I could create a new evil towards people, predators on children, this is how I would do it. Or even just express it. It's just a new evil. It ain't got nothing to do with no devil, because the devil's just a big old P-U-S-S-Y in my book. And I sit and watch the news, read the paper, and more kids are either traumatized, missing, or wound up dead. It leaves visions in my mind, and if you think of it, this has been going on almost since the dawn of time. The more I look into this and search, it's scarring my head. To all you child molesters, abusers, kidnappers, killers, whatever it is that gets you off and do. I got news for you. To think this, to do this and make it seem all right. I think you're up shit's creek and bit off more than you can chew. For those who still roam this earth, I sit and stare at your faces of photos and just like your thoughts, evil takes over my brain. You've taken so many young lives, whatever you may have done, whether it be strangling, beating, shaking, stabbing, molesting, or shooting with a gun. You leave me motionless, heartless, demonic. and feeling insane. This is where I bring forth a new evil, not one who slays the innocent, but one who slays you, that brings you torture, beatings, suffocation, and a slow, brutal death, to leave you to scream in pain. It's time to bring forth a hero, a new shadow of the night, to stalk the ones who want to do nothing but bring harm to a child, a new level of sin that carries a knife, one who flips off the devil and laughs in his face, to put all these sick things, knock them around and slam them in their place. No more filling the jails with them as they sit in their rooms with one another and get off on telling their tall tales. It's time to tie them up like the old days and leave them on the train rails. I know I can speak for every parent who's lost a child, or for whatever happened to them. There is no words to help. Their nightmare forever haunts them. It's something, if you look into hard enough, it will show. So all you sick things sitting laughing 'cause the people you hurt some way or another won't see their children grow, you need to watch your backs, because one day the shadow will come out of the woods, do what you've been doing to others, and he has no worries of what he's done, because he'll make you die slowly while you lay in the woods, laugh in your face, and leave you there. You will die with a horror and in fear. Look out, you wannabe sick fucks. Because with the dark shadow of a new evil comes, do I make myself clear? And that's the end of that poem. And like I said, to the people, and I call them sick things, they're not people. They're just an it, piece of shit. Something beneath your shoe, something that takes innocent lives, whether it be an adult, more or less a child, something that cannot fight, very fragile eggshell mind. And just, why I wrote this poem is because I've had visions of kids running, being shot, visions, literally visions of this. And this is why I make poems like this. I put other poems up, like some similar, due to the fact, because of the visions of, my safety, my kids' safety. There's a lot of sick people in this world, and it's been going on long enough. In the olden days, they used to be sent mental institutions. Now they just roam everywhere. Some are decent. I'm not straggling on all of them. But the ones that want to be dummies, retards, my new definition, retard, knows right from wrong but does wrong anyways. He wants to do the drugs, do the drinking, does whatever make him feel beyond that point. Retards, even killing kids. And I've had enough. And that's why I write this poem. I kind of want to dedicate to the kids because, yeah, I have 4 of my own, like I said. And to see this happen in my eyes, no words can express any feelings I will have after the fact of the chaos, the brutality. And if you have a photographic memory, it's even worse. And I mean worse. That's bad when you got a photographic memory, and I have one of them, and I visualize stuff like this. Why? Because it's there. And it just needs to stop. Especially with the kids, man. Sick. But anyways, YouTube, I'm taking a risk on doing stuff like this, but the reality is someone's got to step up and put into place to these other people that are literally just coming out of the woodwork and saying they're going to do this. I'm going to shoot up this. I'm going to shoot up another elementary school. I wish a hero would come out right now. I mean a real Superman or a real Hulk. Smash. Right. And let them suffer. But then again, you know what? People like that I wouldn't kill. I would let them suffer painful. Leave them. Just leave them. Not leave them for death. Leave them for extreme pain. And let them see what their victims felt. I mean, right now I get sickness to my stomach thinking of a kid getting battered to the ground, beaten. Small innocent kid can't do nothing, can't fight, can't protect himself, ain't educated to do. Like me, I'd throw up a fridge or a chair or a table in front of me and get it in the way and hopefully not get shot, but the kid don't know that. Anyways, YouTube, I'm pretty much done. I did have some predictions in my last video, and like I said, this story came out twisted, like I said. I'm not literally gonna stick my nose in anybody's business, but I think the mother did something wrong, teaching this kid the wrong things by shooting guns, locking them in a basement, homeschooling them. Gotta think of the things that come out. Them are the things that trigger. I've been around people like this, and I myself got secluded away, one last thing. And it was a summertime. Friends of mine went separate ways for one summer. And I'll tell you something right now. Like I said, I'm a living proof that I've listened to music since I was the age of 5. I've watched TV when HBO first appeared on TV in 1983. I was all over it. I've watched all kinds of killing, action, every kind of movie you can imagine. I've listened to heavy metal music. I even remember when they blamed Ozzy for Suicide Solution killings and AC/DC for the murder out in California, the Night Stalker and Judas Priest. Here these bands get in trouble for nothing because some psychopath, demented mental freak, or someone on drugs using it killed themselves. It's all there, black and white. Drugs, mentalness, just like the last year, 2 years ago with the kid that shot up the astronaut's wife. I forget her name, I apologize. But yeah, there you go. mentalness. The guy was in his room. The guy didn't do nothing. The guy didn't speak to nobody. And he did psychedelic drugs or something, delusional drugs. There you go. That makes you think and do things. Sick. And one more thing, Jeffrey Dahmer. His mother bathed him because he was a bedwetter in his early teens. And if you've watched the story, you know that she washed his privates. What mother washes a kid's privates just because he wet the bed? Don't you tell him to go take a shower? I had a bedwetting problem up until I was 7 years old. I knew enough to, hey, I stink. I gotta go in the shower. Clay changed my sheets. I grew out of it. And then my mother washed me. What the fuck is that? And who knows what this mother did to his kid? Her kid, excuse me. Who knows? Who knows? You'll never know now because both of them are gone. They can't defend themselves as rape, but the stories come out of what happened and the history is all there. You can't deny that either. People know. People in the family know. Things been said, things been documented through the families. And that kid was secluded away from the world. That's all I got to say. In a basement with no windows, that's the problem. Homeschooling, that's the problem. Kid got so locked up in his thoughts, that's the problem. Me, like I said, one summer I got locked up in my room, and I almost hung myself. 3 years before my uncle hung himself. So I was in my room going through my depression. No friends. I should have called up a friend, asked them what they were doing. I didn't. I just sat there. Got all these crazy thoughts. I didn't want to kill nobody. I just wanted to kill myself. But I ended up talking myself out of it when I'm standing on a chair in the closet of my room. A rope hanging around my neck. Getting ready to fall forward to snap my neck. And I talked myself out of it somehow, and things and voices are going in my head. Hey, I got issues too. But I don't take them out on little innocent kids, nor people. The only way, if I'm going to beat someone up or smack them around, is if they get up in my face and touch me. That's it. I defend myself. Other than that, I'm not going to shoot them, I'm not going to kill them, I'll smack them around, but it's the only way. I'm not going to say, hey, one day get up out of my bed and I'm going to go shoot the whole fucking school. Boom, that's it. No. I got some issues. There's some poems here I've been putting out with issues. I think them thoughts. I don't want to do them, but they're there. And they need to be heard and said, because people like this that are living out there beyond us, among us, there you go. Maybe I'm a person who's going to show you the light. Who knows what it's going to come to, but YouTube, until the next video, I'm out. Connecticut, stay strong. Thank you. Y'all take care tonight. Stay away from the nightmares. Out.